Hey, it's Jason with Hardy Brothers Outdoors. I'm out at the middle school football field with my son. We're getting ready to do some passing drills with the Jugs Passing Machine. Thought it'd be a great time for me to do a review. We've had this for a couple months now. We've sent well over 1,000 balls through this thing, so I've got a pretty good feel for it. I'm going to talk about why I bought Jugs. I'm going to talk about why I bought new. I'm going to talk about the things I like, and I'll hit on the things I don't like. So with that, let's get this kicked off, and I'll tell you about the machine. Okay, for starters, I told you I was going to talk about why I bought Jugs. I did a little bit of research, and frankly, when I started looking for a machine, the first one I thought of was the Jugs machine. The reason, they say on here, #1 in the world, Jugs. I don't know how that's calculated or figured, but I can tell you, when you see them on a football field, when you see the NFL, anywhere you look, when you see a passing machine, whether it's a baseball pitching machine, a soccer machine, a football machine, it's a Jugs machine. So it was foremost in my mind, and that's why I started looking. As I looked at other brands, I just kept coming back to Jugs, knowing that I was going to get good quality, and therefore I just decided I was going to spend the money and get the Jugs machine. Second, I told you I was going to tell you why I bought new. This machine is not inexpensive, and when I started thinking about buying it, a friend of mine said, look around and find a used one. I looked around for months and I wasn't finding anything close to us. Everything was 8 hours or more away. And what I found was the value and the asking price on those used machines that were several years old wasn't that far off the price of the new machine. So when I started doing the calculations, my son is a 8th grader right now. He's getting ready to start his freshman year. I figure I've got 4 good years in this machine. If I can buy this machine and sell it at the rates that I saw online, it's a great deal for 4 years. The other thing that I found, this has a 5-year warranty on it. So if I use it for 4 years and sell it, it still has warranty on it for the next person. So that'll be a big selling factor. So that's why I decided to buy new. It seems like an expensive piece of equipment, but if you're going to use it and you use it consistently for a few years, I think you're going to get your money's worth out of it. So what do I like about the machine? Honestly, from the time I got it, I was thrilled with it. First of all, very easy to assemble. It comes in 2 pieces. It's got the top section, it's got the legs. You put the legs together, real easy to put the legs on and off. That makes it easy to store. If you need to take it off the legs, it makes it easy to transport. We're at the middle school. I put it in the back of the car and hauled it over here. It's not light, but I can pick it up. I can put it in the back of the car. When we take it out, I put the legs on. I can use this wheel to push it out here like a wheelbarrow. And while it doesn't wheel really easy, it wheels pretty easy. So I like that. I like that it's got a speed adjustment. So the speed adjustment on the side allows me to throw the football at a wide range of speeds. So if we want to do short passes at a high rate of speed, we can do that. If we want to do long passes, we can crank it up and do that. If we want to do kicks and punts, we can crank it up and do that. So it gives me a lot of control over not only the distance that we kick the ball and throw the ball, but also the force at which it's thrown. The things I'm working on with my son, it's all about building confidence in his ability to catch the ball. One of the things I really like about this, I set it, and if we want to work on passes that are right here over his shoulder, it will throw pass after pass right to this area. We've got a routine we go through. We do the right shoulder, we do the left shoulder, we do above his head. We do some that are high above his head that he has to jump for. Once I get the machine set up, we throw the ball over and over and over. I won't say to the exact same spot. Each ball moves around a little bit, but that's good. I want him to see the ball coming from different angles. So I really like that you can adjust it, set it, and it's on. So we can throw a bunch of passes. We'll spend an evening and we'll throw 100 or 150 passes in about an hour's time. So really like that. Other thing that I do like the fact that we can throw passes and do kicks and punts. So he wants to be a receiver. Oftentimes a receiver gets called on to return kickoffs or punts, especially punts. So we're going to have that ability to do some practice there. So those are the things that I really like about it. Also, like one other thing, I like the fact that I can set this up to throw right-hand spirals or left spirals. So depending on what his quarterback is, if he's got a left-handed quarterback, we can switch this machine so it'll throw left-hand spirals and he'll get used to seeing those. So it gives us a lot of flexibility in how we set this up. Really happy with it. Okay, finally, what do I not like about the machine? Now this is the tough one. Honestly, I really have to stretch to find something negative to say about this. The one thing that's harder than you might expect is this is great for running passes at a set distance and with him standing still just doing drills. But when I start having him run patterns, you really have to get used to, it's no different than a quarterback figuring out his timing. At what point do I feed the ball through here so that it hits him in stride? So it's it's not a fault of the machine. It's a matter of you figuring out what the right time is to pass the ball to get it to him. And there's no magic formula. Depending on what speed you've got it set at, depending on the angle, all kinds of things are going on. It takes a little bit of time, but once it's set, we'll put a few cones out, and he knows when he hits this cone, I'm throwing it, it should hit him at the next cone. So that's one of the things that I don't want to say I don't like, but there's a little bit of work to get it set up for that. Okay, last two things I'm going to say about it. One of the great things that we did was we want to be able to use this wherever we go. So I picked up a power inverter. This is from Potec, and I'm including a link at the end where you can buy this. It is a 1500 watt power inverter. This requires a minimum of a 1000 watt inverter. So we've used this a number of times, works really well to power this machine. So if you're looking for an inverter, if you want to be able to take this machine with you wherever you go, maybe you don't have room at home or you don't think you have room at home, I bought this. The other thing, we're using Wilson GST 1780 footballs. This is the high school football. So we bought several of these so that we would have a football just like he's going to use in school with this machine. So that was one of the other things that we bought. We bought several of these. I bought the composite, and you know, it's held up pretty well. So we bought the footballs. And then the last thing that I just realized I wanted to say, other thing I like about this, you don't need a lot of space to do this. We do it in our front yard, which is pretty small, but all we're doing is drills at 10 yards. Pass, 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 pass. Hitting the same spot, hitting the same drills. So that's my take on the Jugs machine. I hope it was helpful, and you know, I highly recommend it. Thanks for joining. See you next time.